Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. So it must be very frustrating to be Catherine, Princess of Wales these days. First of all, you see your brother-in-law that used to be such a good friend of yours bad-mouthing you in the Netflix documentary. You see him on his interviews on television spewing lies. And if you saw the body language guy's latest video today, he directed to the Instagram page of Emily. Well, I'm not sure what the full name is, but someone who showed all of the headlines that the palace that were taken out while they were still working royal, and the palace was protecting Meghan and Harry, especially Meghan, in all sorts of things that came out in the media against them. And so did Sue Smith in her latest video today, just a few minutes ago. She showed, just if you do a Google search, you can see dozens of headlines where you can see how the palace did protect them up until actually coming out with lies to protect Harry and Meghan in all sorts of things that they didn't want the public to know. So coming out and saying that silence is betrayal, which is a plagiarized sentence, is just a lie, because that was not the case. But for Catherine, it must be really frustrating, because she knows that in the book, Harry is going to attack mostly her and her husband, which is really very, very frustrating for someone who used to be such a good friend of hers. And they had such a great relationship, which must make her feel really very hard. And the most difficult thing of all is, just like Megxit that was announced a day before her birthday, this book is going to come out on her birthday, I think, or a day before her birthday, it's going to be around her birthday. So they are going to ruin another birthday for Catherine, and this is really, I think, really frustrating. So I decided to do a Celtic cross this time. And I'm using the Wizard Tarot, another tarot deck by Barbara Moore. So like the one that I used, the classic tarot, and the steampunk tarot. All of them are Barbara Moore's tarot decks, and actually, this was one of my tarot giveaways. And I sent it to one of the winners. So I hope that winner enjoys her deck. I already got a mail from one of the winners that she got her deck, and I do hope that the rest will get their decks soon as well. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Now, this deck is is mixed up with reversed and non and upright deck cards. So I will read reversed here because I'm not going to go over all the cards and fix it up. So I will read reversed if I get a reversed card. And as I often say, reversed cards are not saying that the meaning of the card is reversed. It only says that the negative aspects of the cards are more prominent. So let's start by clearing the deck. And let's start asking. So, Catherine, Princess of Wales, how is she feeling when she sees Harry bad-mouthing her and her husband, William, Prince of Wales? How does she feel betrayed by Harry? How does she feel about him taking all of his hatred and jealousy towards her and towards William? How does she feel about him coming out with all sorts of lies about her and about William? How does Catherine, William, Princess of Wales, feel when she sees Harry spewing hatred and jealousy towards her in his book and in the interviews before with the book, and about them trying to spoil another one of her birthdays by putting out the book and the interviews just around a birthday. Okay, so let's split the deck. And let's start. So the first card is the present, or the present situation, or the thing that Catherine feels right now, and we're getting the Eight of Swords in the reverse position. So I'm not going to keep it in the reverse position. I'm going to show it to you in the upright position, but remember that it came in the reverse position. And it is showing us that she feels, first of all, shackled and blocked because she knows that she cannot come out and defend herself. But the Eight of Swords is more than shackles and blockages that are physical. There are more mental shackles and blocks. There are more emotional blockages. And this is a card that is calling Catherine to act out of cold consideration and not out of emotions. But it shows how difficult it is for her. It shows how emotionally it touches her, how emotionally she is touched by that, how she is grieved by this. This is a card that shows that she feels that she's been lied to, that she feels that she's betrayed. She feels that people, or at least Harry, has been concealing things even before he left the royal family, things that he felt and he never told them. She feels helpless. She feels that she's trapped in this institution that doesn't allow her to come out and defend herself. She feels that she is blocked. She cannot come out and talk about things. She cannot act. She needs to act. She wants to act, but she cannot act. She's unable to act. And she's unable to act because of two things. First, because of the institution that is bounding her, and because of that never complain, never explains strategy, and because the palace has this policy of not coming out with any reaction to what Harry is doing. So she feels that she's blocked by that, but she's also emotionally blocked because she she feels that it doesn't really matter what she says. It doesn't matter how she reacts. Nothing that she will say will change things. And this is even a more difficult place to be in, because when you know that it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how you try. And I believe that Princess Catherine did try. She did make an attempt to fill the gap. She tried to make a bridge between Harry and William. If you remember, in Prince Philip's memorial, and even later on, she did make attempts to reach out to Harry, but she feels that it doesn't really matter what she did or what she tries to do. She is blocked, and this is a very difficult place to be in. So this is the Eight of Swords, and this is the present situation and how she feels seeing what Harry's doing. Now, the challenges that are in her way, which is even a more difficult place, is Judgment, and it came in the reverse position. And Judgment is a card of change, and this is a very, very difficult process. This is it doesn't have to be bad changes. It could be good changes, but it is difficult. It is painful. It is change that is a very profound change. And this is something that Catherine understands, that this change has come. This is a change that cannot be undone. And she does realize that this is something that has to come. And this is a change, this is an awakening for her to realize that Harry will never come back. Harry will never be back as the Harry that she knew. He will never, even if he does come back to the royal family, he will never be the Harry that she knew before Meghan. So that is the main change here. This is the big change, because Harry, if he ever comes out of this narcissistic abuse that he's in right now, and if he ever sees reality as it is, he's still going to be very traumatized. He's still going to be very much scarred. He will never come back as the Harry that she knows, and that the Harry that he used to be. And this is something that Catherine starts to realize now, that Harry will never come back as the Harry that there is no rewind here. Now, because it is in the negative aspect, because it is in the reverse, it shows that for Catherine, she's afraid of that. She's expecting things. She's afraid of that change. She does want Harry back the way that he wants. She doesn't want to see Harry after he comes back from Meghan, and the broken person that he will come back from, as the broken past person that he will come back. She starts to realize that this is how they will get him back, when they get him back, if they get him back. But this card shows that it's difficult. It's very difficult for her. She feels empty. She feels unsatisfied, and she's afraid. She's afraid of what will come when Harry comes back, if he comes back. So what can we see for the far past? What was in the far past? And we see the Hanged Man in the reverse position. So the hangman is the person that is able to see things from a different perspective. This is the person that can change point of view. Once again, because it is in the reverse position, we need to look at the negative aspects of this card, but we're looking at the far past, and in the far past we see that there was this kind of belief that everything will be okay, but there was this sacrificial feeling between Harry and the rest of the family. Harry did feel that he was self-sacrificing himself, and that mainly is because it's in the reverse. He felt that he was sacrificing himself, and in a way, Catherine was feeling that she was self-sacrificing as well, because being part of the royal family means a lot of sacrificing. So there was this common ground of both of them feeling that they are sacrificing parts of themselves. But in the past, Harry maybe even talked to her about that, about the fact that he was feeling stuck, that he was feeling in between things, that he didn't know exactly where he was going. He was in between, and because of that, he was so easy for Meghan to get her hands on. He was really so easily trapped by her because he wasn't so happy, and because he was feeling stuck, because he was feeling that he was self-sacrificing for the monarchy, for his brother. So he had resentment, and that was something that was. It's funny. I have this tendency to start trying to explain things that come from the medical world, but it's like this. He was prepared for someone like Meghan to take over him. So this is someone who doesn't have the necessary energy to make the necessary changes in order to go forward. And because of that, he was such a good bait to be trapped by Meghan. Okay, so that what can we see for the more recent past? And in the more recent past, we see the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, that is the letting go card. That is the card of the person who is leaving behind everything that he has had. That is the person that has mental health issues, the person who is thinking about his mother, who has difficulties with everything that is connected to his mother. So this is mainly the person that is letting go, or the person that has left, and this is what happened in the near past. So in the near past, we saw Harry go away. We saw him giving up the struggle. We saw him letting go and just going away, giving up. So this is exactly what happened, and this is a person who needs some kind of treatment, mental health treatment. So this is what we can see about the recent past. What is the best outcome for Catherine, in Catherine's point of view? And we're seeing the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is the ace of getting your wishes and your what you need, your needs realized in the material world. Now, Catherine doesn't need anything to get realized, not tangible things, not money, not earthly things. This is more about what she does need is the more, not the materialistic things, but the more spiritual things. So, in a way, when it is negatively aspected, we see someone who has some kind of financial consideration over materialism. And in this instance, I think that for Catherine, the best outcome here is that Harry will be having his needs met, that he will not need money, because she knows that if he will need money, it will come from them, it will come from her husband, it will come from her father-in-law, because that is the only person, these are the only people that can give him money. This is a card that shows insecurities, it shows wrong judgment. So she's afraid that he might that he's doing the wrong judgments, and that he might end up not getting what he needs. This is a card that shows that her best interest is, or what she thinks of is, that her best interest is that he will get what he needs, that he will get the money that he needs, that he will get his needs realized. But this card is negatively aspected because she doesn't really believe that it can happen, because she sees what is happening, because as all of us, she has a good head on top of her head, and she sees what is happening. She sees that they don't have much to sell, that they have nothing more to give. So she's afraid. This card is showing us that she is afraid that Harry is doing all of the wrong considerations, taking all of the wrong advice, all of the wrong decisions, and will not have his needs met. But she wants him to have his needs met. She doesn't want him to be poor. She doesn't want him not to have the money that he needs to have his family and what he needs realized in the material world. So this is what she wants. This is what her best outcome, and she's afraid that he might not get that. Okay, next card is what can we see for the immediate future. And we see here the Seven of Cups in reverse. So the Seven of Cups is a card of dreams, dreams that can become reality. And once again, it is in the reverse. So we're looking at the positive and the negative aspects of this card. Once again, when the cards are coming in the negative, we're looking at both positive and negative aspects of the card. So when the card is in the positive, we see a person that is leaving the comfort zone, a person that is fulfilling dreams, a person that doesn't miss opportunities, a person that is not fantasizing, that is someone that has good feet, 2 feet on the ground, that his head is not full of fantasies. And I think that this is the immediate future for Catherine, because she's the one that actually is fulfilling the things that she wants. Maybe not all of her dreams, but the things that she really wants to fulfill, she's able to do that. With Harry, and once again I remind you that we got this card in the reverse, and when it's in the reverse, we see that this is a card that shows unrealistic dreams. It shows fantasies. It shows a person that is not succeeding because he's passive, a person that is running away from reality, a person that is finding it very hard to leave the comfort zone and is naive, a person that is submitting to all sorts of social dictations, and a person that is running after pleasures. Now, why am I saying that part? Because, as you know, many people noted that about the sniffing in the Anderson Cooper interview, and I don't have to tell you what Lady C is insinuating in her videos about the Sussexes. So that is the chasing after pleasures in this instance. But this shows that the immediate future for Catherine is that that she's able to fulfill her dreams, or she's able to leave her comfort zone, she's able to do the things that she wants to. She's able to choose from those cups. With Harry, it's a different picture. It is more of someone who is living in a fantasy world, someone who has difficulty in living the comfort zone and unable to make his dreams come true. Okay, what are the factors that affect the situation? And we're getting here the Four of Cups. Four of Cups, that is a card of doubts. So there are a lot of doubts here, a lot of doubts, a lot of false rumors that are influencing this situation. This is a loss of faith. This is people that are acting in the wrong way, people that don't see reality, and this is a card of trust issues. This is a card of gossip with malice. This is a card of people that are listening to wrong advice and have the tendency to follow the wrong things. And because of that, they become outsiders. And this is a card of depression. This is a card of mental health issues. So fear of abandonment, boredom, lack of desire, all of these things are things that are influencing the situation, influencing the way that Harry sees the situation, and influencing the way that he acts and the way that he is lashing out. And it also, in Catherine's point of view, she has her doubts. She has her doubts as to whether or not she will be able to ever rehabilitate her relationship with Harry. She has her doubts on ever being able to be to believe him, to trust him ever again. This is a card that shows that she herself feels lonely in that, in a way, although she has William, but she cannot speak about those things to other people. She cannot talk about that to the media or to anyone. She cannot defend herself. And in a way, this causes a lot of loneliness. And this also causes, I mean, we cannot expect Catherine to be this stone without any emotions and that she's not affected by all of that. Of course, she is affected by all of that. And she herself might need the emotional therapy to withstand all of these attacks on her. Okay, external influences. External influences are the Nine of Cups in reverse. And the Nine of Cups is a card of wishes coming true. But let's just see that in this card we see the Nine of Cups flying in the air, because it's like balloons in the air. It's like those cups that are not really there, that they are in the psyche of this wizard. But once again, it came in the reverse. This is a wishes coming true card, but in order to be able to have those wishes coming true, the person needs to know to accept abundance. So this is a very good place to be in. This is a success in business. This is and this is also, if we're looking at how people see Catherine, people see her as this successful woman, as someone who is always looking to the nine, as someone who is always so beautiful. She's always immaculate. And this is how people see her. Nobody sees what is happening inside of her, but inside of her, it's like this chaos of light and feelings and emotions. And this is the inside of her. And this is, in a way, her need to prove herself. Now, interestingly enough, this is a card of unplanned pregnancies. So once again, in the year ahead, reading for Catherine, I got quite a lot of clues for possible pregnancy. This is another card of unplanned pregnancy. But if we're looking at the outside influences, this card shows that that the real Catherine, what is going on in her soul, inside of her, is a lot messier than what we see in the outside. She's a very feeling person. She's a very emotional person. These cups are there, floating there. She for in the outside, I mean, every person that looks at her says, wow, she's like this amazing woman who has everything. She has her wishes coming true. She looks amazing. She has this amazing body. She's thin. She's beautiful. She has this amazing husband. She has those amazing kids. She will be the Queen of England. I mean, what else can she need or want? But in the inside, and all of this that is happening, people don't see that, but in the inside there is a turmoil, and this is what that the external influences are causing Catherine. So there is a turmoil there, there is restless there, and this is her needing to prove herself, needing to show the world that she's okay, to keep her a straight face, not to show the world that she's affected by that. And once again, because of the never explain, never complain strategy, and because of the royal family rule that they are not responding, she cannot respond, so she cannot say anything. Okay, next card is, what is she hoping for, or what is she afraid of? Depending on the card, and what we're getting here is the Fool. So the Fool card is a tricky card, because the Fool card is a card of freedom and enjoying freedom. It's about a freedom that has no boundaries, but freedom. But the Fool card is also about someone who is not thinking about conventions, but someone who is reckless, someone who's doing hasty things, someone who begins things without endings, someone who is agitated, and someone that needs change so much that he is doing dangerous things. So I will take that into the fears, and I think that she's afraid more than she's hopeful. She's afraid of the reckless of what Harry's doing. She's afraid of the hastiness of what he's doing. She's afraid, and she's feeling frustration. She's agitated because of that. This is a card of someone who is ignoring obstacles, ignores reality, and burns bridges because of that. This is exactly what she's afraid of. She sees Harry doing that. He's doing that every day, and she's afraid of the day that it will be just irreversible. Now, tomorrow I will do a reading about the three options that Harry has in connection to the coronation. You can see on Instagram on markle Markle News 01, I think that was the account. But you can see that on Sue Smith video as well. She took it from Quora, but it's someone who speaks about the coronation and the things that Harry will have to do in order to go to the coronation. So if he can decide not to go to the coronation, that is one decision to make. But if he decides to go to the coronation, then then there are two options. One option is that if he goes as a duke, or if he doesn't go as a duke. If he doesn't go as a duke, then he will have to renounce the titles before the coronation. If he goes to the coronation as a duke, he will have to, first of all, be there without Meghan, because Meghan is not going to be part of the ceremony. He will have to be part of the ceremony. He will have to go there and to wear the ermine gown and wear the coronet and pledge alliance to the king. And this is something that if he's planning to spew more hatred and more dirt at the king later on, he won't be able to do that after he pledged alliance and promised to fight for the king no matter what. So these are the three options, and tomorrow I will do a reading about what is the options that he most probably take. So this reading, this is Catherine being afraid of him taking a route that will completely change things in a way that there will be no way back. As I was saying at the beginning with the Judgment card, this is a change that cannot be unchanged. This is something that is not reversible, and this is exactly what she's afraid of, because she's afraid that he will burn the bridges behind him in a way that nothing can really rebuild those bridges. Okay, final outcome, and the final outcome is the Three of Swords. Unfortunately, it's not going to be good. Three of Swords, that is destruction and failure known in advance, because of being in the Two of Swords energy, and the Two of Swords energy is not being able to see reality and not being able to cope with reality. And when you are unable to cope with reality, then you reach the Three of Swords. That's heartache, that is a failure, that is overlooking emotional reasons, that is overlooking all the warnings that were there, that is inability to finish things, that is destruction. This is a person that has closed his eyes to all of the warning signs that he had. That is, he destroyed everything. He did all of the mistakes that he could. This is a person who is confused. This is a person who is deceiving himself, and he's letting others mislead him. He's letting others control him emotionally, and he lets his emotions control him. And he's going to break Catherine's heart once again. And this time, I'm afraid that it will be irreversible. It won't be something that she can come back from, unfortunately. Not a very good outcome. Not a very good reading to begin with. Okay, so this is it for the tarot reading. And it just comes to show you that it doesn't really matter if I'm reading the upright or the reversed meaning of the card, because the reversed meaning comes out from the cards that are around the card and the cards that come beforehand. And if the card is supposed to be reversed, then it comes. Then the cards around it are telling us that it's supposed to be in the reversed meaning. Okay, so this cute little goddess on the go pocket-sized deck is really cute, really small, really pocket size, and it comes with a guide. So let's start with clearing it and asking for advice for Catherine. So advice for Catherine on being vilified by Harry and on having her birthday ruined by Harry and Meghan. Advice for Catherine on being vilified by Harry and her birthday being ruined by Harry and Meghan, with the stare coming out. Okay, so the card that I'm getting is I am loved by life. Let's see what the book has to say. Okay, so apparently the booklet is very nice, but it doesn't have more information about the card. So let's look at the cards and see what we see. Look what we see. So we see here a woman with a dark hair, and it is long, and there are a lot of butterflies around it, a lot of bright colors, and this woman is feeling loved by life. So I think that this card really fits Catherine, really does reminds Catherine that life loves her, we love her, the British people love her, the world loves her, and it doesn't really matter if those Montecito do or don't. Just remember all the people that do love her. And as someone, I think it was the Duchess of Sussex, said today, send Catherine, the Princess of Wales, birthday cards for her birthday. That would be very nice. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you like it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.